from RTO. Welcome to another album ranking, first one of the week, and hope you're all having a good Easter. So today, album ranking is some viewers' request, but it's also one of my mates. He's a big fan of Stryper. He asked me, could you do me a Stryper? And I went, yeah, of course I can. I mean, he got me into them as well, so it's his fault. I like this band. They're an American Christian metal band. They're one of the first Christian heavy metal bands to be accepted into mainstream as well. The group's lineup at the moment is Michael Sweet, Oz Fox, Perry Richardson and Robert Sweet. Michael Sweet does lead vocals and guitars, Oz Fox is guitars, Perry Richardson is bass, guitar and Robert Sweet drums. They have had a couple of other people in the band, but the mainstay is Michael Sweet, Oz Fox and Robert Sweet. Yes, Michael and Robert are related, they are brothers. They were formed in 1983 as Rock's Regime, but the band changed their name and their musical message to reflect their Christian beliefs. So they changed the name to Stryper. They've had two periods. They had the first pit from up to 1990, then they broke up, and then in 1999 they come back, and they come back really strong. They went down the sort of route as Europe with that 80s sound, and then when they come back even stronger and a better sound. They've released 13 albums, so we better get cracking. So coming in at number 13, we have the 8th album released in 2011, and it is called The Covering. This is a collection of cover songs that help to shape the band's sound and musical identity. Also included a new song called God. This is the classic lineup that done this, because bass player Tim Gaines come in and out of the band 3 or 4 times. So we've got Michael Sweet vocals, Robert Sweet drums and cymbals, Oz Fox on the guitar and Tim Gaines on the bass. This is what I call that classic lineup of Stryper. First track is Set Me Free, which is a sweet track, of course. Hey, they do a bad version of that, I don't mind that. Blackout, Scorpions, it's okay, but it just lacks Klaus Meine's wonderful vocals. Then they do a version of Heaven and Hell. Tim Gaines' bass is brilliant on this, but it's a little bit cheesy, the singing. It's more of a chant and all that. Whoa, it was sort of rubbish. It's not very good. Lights Out, the classic UFO track, really done well. Then they do a version of Kansas, Carry On My Wayward Son. It's one of the best cover versions on this album. Then they do a really bad version of Highway Star. Shout It Loud Kiss, pretty good version of that. Over the Mountain, it lacks something. Yes, it's called Ozzy Osbourne, Bob Daisley, Lee Kerslake and Randy Rhoads. The Trooper, it's not a bad effort, but the guitar solos are not as good as Mr. Murray's and Mr. Smith's. Breaking the Law is awful. It's not a very good version. Then they do On Fire from Van Halen. I think it's very actually hard to cover any song by Van Halen because no one sounds like Eddie Van Halen. Immigrant Song, Michael Sweet is no Robert Plant. I think Jack Black sings it better from the School of Rock than Michael Sweet. That's another story. And then the last track is their own. This is a good track. It's called God. It's a really strong track. They come back with some really good tracks after the split up. The sound was great. It's a really good song. Okay, as with most cover albums, I'll keep saying this, but there are some good ones, songs, and there's some bad ones. and on here there's a lot of bad ones. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 5.5. The extra 5 is for the actual song God, because it is a pretty good song. Okay, then coming in at number 12, we go to 1988. It's the 4th album, In God We Trust. It's the classic lineup of Michael Sweet, Robert Sweet, Oz Fox and Tim Gaines. No, it's not. Tim Gaines is not on this one. He wasn't available for some reason, so we had Brad Cobb. Keyboards are done by John Van Tongerton and Bill Myers. First track is In God We Trust. Like this track, the drums on this are pretty good. You got to remember these were all done in the 80s where the production was pretty naff, but you got to take these tracks for when they are. I like that track. Really good. Always There For You. This is overly 80s production. I don't like it. I just don't like the production on it. Keep the Fire Burning. Again, I'd like the harmonies on this. They're very good at harmonies, this band, but it's overproduced again, I'm afraid. I Believe You, a ballad. Oh dear, it's not very good. Lots of ballads on this album. The Writings on the Wall. I like this track. It's my favourite track on the album. The guitar solo on this is absolutely wicked from Oz Fox. He's a really good, underrated guitar player. It's Up to You, more cheesy ballads. The World of You and I, another ballad. Oh, it's horrible. Come to Everlife. It's cheesy, very cheesy ballad. Lots of arms swaying, cigarette lighters in the day, you know, all that rubbish. Lonely, yes, we have another ballad. But the last track, The Rain, more like it, a bit more beef to it. Some great riffing in this. Even though we got the 80s production, it's a pretty good song. Okay, this album to me has got far too many ballads and not enough rockers. The rockers are good, the ballads are mediocre. They're not particularly inspiring. Okay, some of the words, if you know, that weren't writing about their Christian beliefs. Okay, the words are right, but it's just the cheesiness of the songs. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 11, we have the 9th album. Second Coming. I'll put the year in there because I forgot to write it down. This featured the classic lineup: Michael Sweet, Robert Sweet, Oz Fox and Tim Gaines. Now this is an album full of re-recorded songs from an earlier years, so I won't go into too much detail. I'll just tell you what's on it. We've got Loud and Clear, Loving You, Soldiers Under Command, and that version is far much better than the original. Make Me Wanna Sing, First Love, The Rock That Makes Me Roll, Reach Out, Surrender, To Hell With the Devil, Calling You, Free This Way, Sing a Long Song, More Than a Man. Now that we got two new songs on here that they recorded. Bleeding From the Inside, really good songs, very strong. Great riffing on this, and the drumming from Robert Sweet on this is terrific. Blackened, good, another good song. I like it a lot. Heavy riffs, great singing from Michael Sweet, terrific. Good way to end the album. Okay, although these are re-recorded songs, I think this is a pretty good album because a lot of the earlier songs had got that overrated, productive 1980s sound, but now they've gone and done them again. Some of these tracks sound fantastic, and I really like this album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 10, we go to 1990 for the 5th album, Against the Law. This is a little bit different from what they normally do. It's got Michael Sweet, Oz Fox, Tim Gaines and Robert Sweet. we've got Randy Jackson on bass guitar on one of the tracks, John Purcell on keyboards, Jeff Scott Soto on vocals, got Brent Jeffers doing some drumming and percussion from Tom Weirman. Against the Law. It's not a bad track, but I think the guitar mix is a little bit too high. It's a little bit screechy and doesn't fit in. Two Time Woman, pretty solid track. Solid stuff here from Tim Gaines on the bass. This was the last album he played on with stuff of original material. Rock the People, bog standards 90 rock. Two Bodies, One Mind, One Soul. I think this is the best track on the album. Fantastic guitar solo from Oz Fox. Not That Kind of Guy. This reminds me of some of the stuff that David Lee Roth was doing at the time. It's that sort of sound, and I don't mind that one. Then we get Shining Star, which of course is an Earth, Wind and Fire song. And no. Awful. Ordinary Man, I don't mind this, but I think they're trying to sound like Van Halen. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Lady, just not my cup of tea at all. I don't like that track, never have. Caught in the Middle, lots of guitar shredding and picking and screeching, pretty good. All for One, it's a bit cheesy. I don't like cheesy rock songs, and I don't like cheesy... Oh, it's just not the thing. Rock the hell out of you. Michael Sweet's vocals are a little bit off on this one. He's struggling to get them high notes for some reason, and he's a pretty good singer. Okay, this is going to be mixed back here. This was going to be the last album until 2005. I think you could see this is the beginning of the end of the band. It has got some highlights on it, but there's nothing really memorable. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.3. Okay, then coming in at number 9, we go to the debut album, released in 1984, The Yellow and Black Attack. The classic lineup: Michael Sweet, Robert Sweet, Oz Fox and Tim Gaines. Loud and Clear. Love this track, and I do like the re-recorded version of it as well. It's always been a good track. Right from Wrong. Martin's vocals are pretty good on here. He's really giving it the screeches. Great guitar from Oz Fox. Really good track. My Love, I'll Always Show. This is a slow track, but I do like the arrangement on it. It's a pretty good song. I like that one. You Know What to Do, and like the harmonies on this. The harmonies are really good, and it's quite a nice little rock song. Come on, rock. Favourite track on this. Nice riffs, some really good drumming. And considering this was done in the mid-80s with the production, it's still a pretty good track. You Won't Be Lonely, it's okay. Loving You, not too bad. Thumping bass line from Tim Gaines. Some nice guitar work from Oz. Good track. Reason for the Season, another good track on this. Nice guitar work on this. Real good little rocker. As a debut album, it was very good. I think this is one of them albums that, again, needs to just be remixed. Take away the 80s production, because these songs are really, really good. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 8, we get a 1985. First album I ever bought by Stryper. And it was called Soldiers Under Command. This was the first Christian metal album to achieve gold record status, selling more than 500,000 copies. It's the classic lineup of Michael Sweet, Robert Sweet, Oz Fox and Tim Gaines. Additional musicians on here: Christopher Carell on synclaver guitar, and John Van Tongen on bass and pianos and keyboards and etc. Opens up with the title track, Soldiers Under the Command, one of my favourite songs by Stryper. It's a really good, and when they re-recorded this it was even better. Makes me want to sing. Love the beat bass line in this. I like Tim Gaines' bass work. Pretty good. Good rocker. Together Forever. Okay, it's got a cheesy start, but once it gets going the riffs are really strong. Some great drumming from Robert Sweet. Lots of great little guitar licks. I'll let it off for the cheesy start. It's a good song. First Love. Yeah, not my sort of favourite starts the song. It's that horrible 80s piano, and you know you're going to get a cheesy ballad. The Rock That Makes Me Roll opening riff on this is brilliant. It's a really great track. Reach Out. It's one of them chanting songs, and you know I hate these. Well, sort of. I just don't like it. Don't need to do it. Waiting for a Love That's Real, a typical 80s rock start, but it's got some nice riffs. It's quite a catchy tune as well. Together as One, another ballad, but this is pretty good. I like that one. Surrender, I love this track. I love the guitar solo in it from Oz Fox. And then we get this is cringe-worthy, cheese-worthy song. It's the hymn, the Battle of the Hymn Republic, but they do it in such a way that it makes you want to throw up. This isn't a bad album. I like the roughness of it. I like some of the cheesy 80s productions. Okay, it's a reasonable album, and it's the first one I brought, so it's a little bit special to me. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 7, we go to 2009 now for the 7th album, Murder by Pride. Got a new bass player on this. Tim Gaines has disappeared again. So we got Michael Sweet, Robert Sweet, Oz Fox and Tracy Ferry. It's actually a bloke, not a lady. Additional musicians on here are Paul McManaman on pianos and keyboards, Danny Berhini on percussion, Kenny Orneloff does a bit of drumming, Tom Solch does the guitar on Peace of Mind Arranger. Okay, first song on this one's called Eclipse for the Sun, as in father and son type thing. Belting track, great rocker, love that track. Four Leaf Clover, love that opening riff. This is terrific. The drums sound good. They sound a lot better now without the production's a lot better. The drums really sound good. Then we got Peace of Mind, which of course is a Boston cover. I don't think they do a bad version of it actually. Pretty good. Alive is the next song. I like this song. I like the piano on this. It's really good. Terrific song. The Plan, not a good track, but I do like the drumming. Murder by Pride, the title track, really nice riffs in here. Oz Fox is really on fire on that one. Mercy Overblown, solid track. I believe it's a ballady type track, but the harmonies on this are really good. Running You, I like this track. The bass line is really good. I love the acoustic sound you get on this track. Really, really nice. One of my favourite tracks on the album. Love Is Why. Nice guitar work on this. Really good song. Everything. Some driving riffs on this. Nice crisp bass drums from Robert Sweet. Excellent track. My Love, I'll Always Show. Love this track. My favourite on the album. Double guitars. Great drumming, great heavy metal song. Nothing wrong with that one. My Love, My Life, My Flame. A cheesy ballad. Very, very solid album. I like most of the tracks on this one, and I love the sound that they produce. It's a good album, and I'll give this an RTO ranking of 8.3. Okay, coming in number 6 then, we have the third album from 1986, To Hell with the Devil. This is the first Christian metal album to achieve platinum status, sold over 1 million copies. It's the classic lineup: Michael Sweet, Robert Sweet, Oz Fox and Tim Gaines. John Van Tongen's on the keyboards, and Brad Cobb comes in to do a little bit of session bass. Abyss, to Hell with the Devil. Great opening. It's a little short piece. Comes out of the book of great Saxon openings to albums. Really good. That goes straight in though to the title track, To Hell with the Devil. Love this track. It's a belter. One of the best ones I ever did. Love the guitar work from Oz Fox. Calling on You. This one isn't too mad. Don't mind. This one's got some strong riffs. Free. Oz Fox solo at the beginning of this is really fantastic. Good track. Honestly, I hate that 80s keyboard sound. It just spoils the track. The way Tim Gaines' bass line, fantastic in this, drives that song along. Reminds me of a lot of Europe. This song does. Pretty good. Sing-along song. Worst song on the album. I just don't like it. Sounds a little bit better on that Second Coming, but it's still pretty cheesy. Holding On, catchy tuned. Love this track. Really, it just really gets you. Rocking the World, great rocker. Ripping riffs. All of Me, one of them cheesy ballads. Again, that horrible 80s keyboard just makes you cringe. More Than a Man, solid rocker. Love the riffs on this. Brilliant. I'd say definitely this is the best Stryper album of the Part 1 incarnation before the split. Got some great tracks on here. Solid enough album, and I'll give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay, coming in at number 5 then. This is the 6th album, 2005, Reborn. This is the first full-length album since 1990, so this is the start of the new career. Except this was supposed to have been a Michael Sweet solo record, but they did Stryper did a reunion tour, and Sweet played it for the other members, at which time Oz Fox suggested they should record it as a Stryper album. So Tim Gaines is not on this, and this was the first album that Tracy Faree featured on bass. Then we got Oz Fox, Robert Sweet and Michael Sweet, and there's some Lou Spangola plays bass on some of the tracks as well. Open Your Eyes is the opener. When you hear this you go, wow. What a change from that 80s overproductive to this real hard rocking sound, just like Europe did when they came back. Great song, love it. Reborn, the title track, great drumming from Robert Sweet. He's been unleashed. No tinny drums, no put the cotton wool in the drum kit. Brilliant track. When Did I See You Cry, really good riffs, and this is one of the heavy songs from Stryper. Make Your Mind, another solid track. Great guitar work from Oz Fox as ever. Passion, I like this track. Starts off with a very good intro, and then he goes into a ripping rocker. I love the acoustics in this as well. The acoustic guitar, great trill tune. Live Again, belting rock track. It's hard, it's heavy. If I Die, one of the weaker tracks on the album. I still think it's an okay track though. Wait For You, this isn't bad too either. Rain, nothing to do with Quo. I don't like this track at all, it's just cheesy. 10,000 Years, nice arrangement, like the guitars on this. There's some light touches and delicate touches and some really ripping solos. Then we get IGWT, great rocking track to end the album, very heavy. Wow, what a comeback. Not been around since 1990, 2005. We come back and we probably get one of the heaviest albums put out by Stryper. Love this album. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8.6. Okay then, coming at number 4, we've got the most current album released in 2020 and it's 13th. Even the Devil Believes. It's got Michael Sweet, Oz Fox and Perry Richardson, who's now the bass player. Tim Gaines disappeared again and I don't think he's coming back this time, and Robert Sweet on the drums as ever. Blood from Above. Oh, this is brilliant. The drumming from Robert on here is just awesome, and Michael Sweet's vocals sound terrific, singing even better than he did when he was younger. Great track. Mate Love Great, again driving guitar work here from Oz Fox, very underrated. Let Him In, a great thumping bass line from this new guy Perry Richardson, and I think Michael Sweet's vocals just got better and better with age, like a good wine ages well. Doodle and Two Others, great vocal from Michael. It's some of his best singing on this album. Great track. Even the Devil, what riffs in this. It's just a good old-fashioned hard rocking band. Great stuff. How to Fly, one of the slowest tracks on here, but it's got some real good power chords in it. I like that track. Divider, I love that faded out drums on this. It comes in with a bang again, in a great solo, really good arrangement. This I Pray, really good track, solid. Invitation Only, it's just a bit, it's one of the weaker tracks, but it's okay. For God's Rock and Roll, good bass line from Perry. The drumming on this is fabulous, deep, hard. Then we get Middle Finger Messiah. Oh, ferocious drumming. This is bordering on thrash metal, but it's absolutely brilliant. I think this is an excellent album. I think the second incarnation of Stryper is a stronger band than the first incarnation, and hope they may continue, because this is an absolute belter of an album. And I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8.8. Now we're getting into the top 3. These can swap and flip around all the time, because these are my 3 favourite albums from this band. So coming in at number 3, we have the 11th album from 2015, sorry, and it's called Fallen. Tim Gaines is on this one. So you've got the classic lineup: Michael Sweet, Robert Sweet, Oz Fox and Tim Gaines. Got Paul McManara doing the keyboards and Laura Manzi doing some backing vocal. First track is called Yahweh or Yahweh. Dramatic choral start, Saxon style. Brilliant. Great vocal from Michael Sweet. Fallen. Good, again, great song. Great vocals on this. Michael Sweet is on fire. Pride. Dirty riff. This is dirty, proper heavy metal. Best track on the album. It's really heavy. Gives Tony Iommi a run for his money. Big Screen Lies, another great track. This is quite a heavy boogie feel to it. It's really good. Love the drums in this. Terrific track. Heaven. You forget these are actually a Christian rock band, because this is quite dark. This has got some great, what you expect from Black Sabbath, them sort of riffs. Fantastic track. Love You, Do You... Now start again, Ian. Love You Like I Do. That's it, got it. Probably the least favourite on here, but it's got an amazing solo from Oz. All Over Again, one of the tracks I'm not keen on. Talking of Black Sabbath, they actually do a cover of a Black Sabbath song, After Forever, off, I believe, Masters of Reality. And they do a fantastic version of this classic. And they do it justice. I like their version of it, pretty good. Till I Get What I Need, another thumping track. The drums on this are really good. Robert Sweet's drumming on this album is phenomenal. Brilliant stuff. Let There Be Light, again, we've got some great riffs, guitar solo. Michael's vocal on here is fantastic. What a track. The Calling, catchy. This is one of them catchy songs. Another powerful vocal for Michael, though. Terrific song. Then the album ends up with King of Kings. It's like an anthem type track. Some nice track riffs, but it's a little cheesy for me. Okay, another strong album, including that cover of After Forever. These are a very underrated band. Check them out. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. Okay, coming in number 2 of the 12th album from 2018. Goddamn Evil. Now, on the cover, we've got Michael Sweet, Robert Sweet, Oz Fox and Perry Richardson, but unfortunately Perry Richardson couldn't record the album due to scheduling conflicts, so they brought in a guy called John O'Boyle. Got Charles Foley on backing vocals as well. First track is called Take It to the Cross. Again, it's got one of them dramatic starts. Another one of those starts that Saxon would be proud of. Great track, one of my favourites on the album. This is really thrashy as well. It's heavy, it's hard, booming. Great track. Sorry, another solid track. Really strong start. Funny start to this though. But it does get better, and that's what I like about it. It just, when you hear it first, go, ugh, then you give it a few minutes. Oh, well, this is okay. Then we get Lost. I think Michael Sweet's vocal is brilliant on this. It's really hitting the high notes better than he did back in the 80s. I don't understand that. It's really good. Great track. Then we get Goddamn Evil. More screeching vocal from Michael and a thumping bass line here. Terrific song. You Don't Even Know Me. One of them slower tracks, but it's really good. It's absolutely up there with some of the mainstream rock tracks, I think. Fantastic. The Valley. Oh, terrific. Great heavy metal riffing. This is new age of heavy metal, without a doubt. This is as good as anything that Saxon have put out in the last few years, or Maiden. They're in the same league as them with this track. Fantastic. Sea of Thieves. God, that opening riff is very Tony Iommi. I think Oz Fox may have like a bit of Black Sabbath, because it sounds so much like Tony Iommi's style of riffing. Great track. Beautiful. The drumming at this is absolutely amazing from Robert. Bellowing out the drums. Oz comes in on the guitars, and then you get this sort of sax. You get this sort of sax sound on it. I don't know what it is. Saxon sort of start as well. Scorpions sort of music. Great. Great dirty metal riffs. Can't Live Without You. Very radio friendly, but I do like it. Own Up. Great bass line. Drives the song along. One of my favourites. Then we get the Devil Doesn't Live Here. Robert Sweet, what a drummer he is. Absolute belting stuff. I love his drums. They're rich, they're hard. That double bass sounds really good on that track. Brilliant way to end the album. This album is solid from top to bottom. There's not a bad track on this one. Very underrated band again, as I say. I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.2. So, coming in at number 1, we have the 10th album, No More Hell to Pay, released in 2013. This is the classic lineup. One of the last ones they did, I think. Michael Sweet, Robert Sweet, Oz Fox and Tim Gaines. Revelation. What a track. Love the double guitar on here. Great bass line from Tim Gaines, booming away. Fantastic track. No More Hell to Pay. More driving riffs from Michael. Great vocal. Really strong song. Saved by Love. Ferocious drumming at the start. It doesn't just gently start, it booms in. Then you get Oz coming in with some great riffing, screeching licks. It's brilliant. Jesus is Just Alright. Okay, this is a traditional gospel song written by Art Reynolds. We've had covers by the Doobie Brothers. They did a version. The Byrds did a version of it. But this is probably the heaviest version you'll get of a gospel song. It's absolutely brilliant. I like this version of this song. The guitar work on this is really good. It's very melodic from Oz Fox, and you've got this lovely bass line from Tim Gaines that sort of complements Oz's playing. Legacy, Michael Sweet's screeching is phenomenal on this. He gives Ian Gillan a run for his money. Love that track. Marching Into Battle, my favourite track. It's very Denim and Leather style arrangement. That's probably why I like it. It's like their version of Denim and Leather. It's fantastic. TMO, really good rock song. Vocal from Michael on this is just out of the top drawer. Everyone plays well on that one. It's a fantastic track. Sticks and Stones, very catchy. Lots of Jerry Tempest wailing on this one, but it is a really good track. Water Into Wine, Robert Sweet's drumming again. It just so blows you away. Sympathy, the opening riff for this is terrific. Proper new wave of heavy metal sounding track. This is brilliant. Renewed, solid track to end the album. Heavy, hard, great guitar licks. What an album. This is my number 1 because I think this is the best album that the classic lineup of Stryper ever did. I mean, Tim Gaines came in and out of this album discography, didn't he? Come back, did a bit of this, cleared off, come back. I think he came back into the band 3 or 4 times, but it's this classic lineup that probably made the best album. It's got they're all hard, heavy rock tracks. If you haven't heard any of their stuff, go and check it out. They are on Spotify. And really give this band some love because they are a terrific rock band. Forget their... Okay, people, they're a Christian band. Forget it. You don't even, when you're listening to it, you forget that they're Christians because the music is good. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.5. Well, there you go, Neil. Hope you enjoy that one. That was all for you because you asked me and I delivered. Okay, I'll be back later with a classic album, and we're going to look at the album that was Crosby, Stills and Nash. Really good little mellow album to listen to. So I'll be back for that later. Bye for now.